Hey guys, and welcome to Big Sister Saturday, where I tell you things from my point of view as a big sister. Today's topic is going to be 5 things to do when you've accidentally been glutened. For those of you that don't know what gluten is, you probably won't care about this post. Gluten is a protein found in wheat, barley, most oats, and rye. If you are intolerant to it or allergic to it, and you eat it, then you know how miserable you're gonna be for the next couple of days. The reason that this fits into the Big Sister Saturday category is that, well, for one, I am allergic to wheat myself, and for two, my youngest brother just found out that he's also allergic. If I was a nice sister, I would just say, I'm sorry, that really sucks, I'll give you a hug. Since I'm sometimes not a nice sister, what I'm going to say is, I told you so. I've had my suspicions that he was allergic for a while, and I've been nagging him for a long time, but then you accidentally become that person that everyone makes fun of when they talk about gluten. But really, if you have the symptoms, you can see the symptoms in other people, so sometimes I just see the symptoms in people. And I would never harass a stranger, but I would harass my siblings. Thing number 1, if you find out that I don't know why I clapped. If you find out that you have been glutened, the very first thing I suggest that you do is curl up into the fetal position and cry. If you don't feel like crying, curl up into the fetal position, watch an episode of Grey's Anatomy, and then you'll be crying. For me, when I get glutened, most of the time I do want to cry because I know that I will start feeling terrible. Thing number 2, and this one is going to be super, 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 super important. Actually, I probably should have made this thing number 1, but I always want to just cry when I have been glutened, so I made that number 1. Actually, these don't really have an order of importance. Forgetting what order they're in as far as them being important or not, but this is a super important step. If I had to put it in a spot, I'd probably put it at number 1. Drink a lot of water. A lot of water. Side note, you can buy a water bottle at a gas station for like $1.89, or you can buy a gallon of water for 99 cents at a grocery store and you get more water. And everybody makes fun of you for Everybody makes fun of you for carrying a gallon of water with you every day, but I don't waste as much money as you do, fools, so I have no shame. I'll drink out of a gallon any day. Another thing you can do with your water, and something that I really like to do, is put a lemon in it. And if you don't like the waxy peel taste, I usually peel my lemon like you would an orange, and then cut it in half, and then put all those slices in my water, and then since you have this giant gallon full of water, you have lemon water all day. And it's great. Lemon water specifically is going to be really good for your system, which is now probably going to start hating you for a while. The acid in the lemon water is going to really be good for your tummy when it starts to irritate you. I'll put this as delicately as I can. When you get glutened, your body reacts by giving you diarrhea. And if that's the case, then you need to make sure you keep fluids in, because your body's going to dehydrate really fast when it is basically expelling all of the fluids that are currently in your system. So keep hydrated for that. If your body reacts by making you constipated, then you are going to start getting a little bit toxic, because what should be filtering out is not. It's sitting in your system and it's not moving, and your body just keeps reabsorbing that same stuff, and it causes your body to get toxic, you get really sluggish, so you need to make sure you keep a lot of fluids to help flush all that goop out. The other way that your body can function if you accidentally get glutened is to bring it all back up, and if it's all coming out, you're still losing a lot of liquid that your body needs to function with, so all that to say, drink water. Drink a lot of water. Try to get in a gallon that first day, and then just see where you go from there. Staying hydrated is very important. The third thing that you can do when you get glutened is to take an anti-inflammatory. Now, I don't want to give you an example of, hey, take this brand, or hey, take this thing, because honestly, I try not to take a whole lot of pain medication. I try not to take a lot of anti-inflammatories. I try to do most things naturally. But honestly, when you've been glutened and you react severely like I do, there comes a point when you have to go to work or you have to go to school or you have to do whatever. And sometimes you can stay in bed for a couple days, and I like to do that when I have time, but sometimes you have things to do and you have a life to live and you cannot get out of bed if you feel terrible. So what I also will sometimes do if it gets really bad is take an anti-inflammatory. Part of the reason I don't want to give you guys a brand is that people change ingredients of their stuff all the time, and you don't want to get glutened by the medicine you took to feel better from being glutened. So typically, before I buy a bottle of anything, I check the ingredients, I Google them, I spend way too much time sometimes sitting on the floor of the store trying to research things to make sure that I don't get sick. You can take that and then go into your fetal position and cry. That will help when everything internally is inflamed and you're miserable. Step 4. Another thing that I like to do is to get a hot water bottle, which they're actually hard to find. I don't think too many people use hot water bottles anymore, but definitely a hot water bottle over like a heating pad or one of those heat patch things. Take one of those, fill it up with as hot of water as you can get, and then lay on your back, watch TV, and put that heating pad on your belly. Something about the weight of the water with the warm heating bag just will help soothe you a little bit when you are in pain. So that is one of the other things that I do. Otherwise, if you have a sibling or somebody that loves you enough to rub your belly, they can rub your belly. Just have them rub it starting on your right side. It's gonna be hard to explain backwards. Starting on your right side and then going up over your rib cage and then going down the left. So rub in that direction. You wanna go up the right, across, down the left, across, and rub it in that motion, and that will also help soothe you a little bit when you feel miserable. Step 5, this is also important for me because sometimes what happens when you get glutened is your body panics and it either gets rid of everything or it holds on to the junk. Well, at this point, your body's not going to be absorbing nutrients like it needs to be, and so you kind of go from like feeling like you're gonna vomit to ravenously hungry all in the same few minutes. And that lingers for me for a few days. So usually I am starving and then I already feel miserable, and then instead of making good choices on food, I eat whatever I can see, or I go out of my way to eat ice cream and candy because the body never craves good things like broccoli. When you're in a panic mode, it just craves sugar. I don't even know if the beginning of this point made sense, but step 5 for me is cut down on sugar and eat softer foods. If you can tolerate potatoes, sweet potatoes are a really good way to get a bunch of nutrients into your body quickly. If you bake a sweet potato and put some grass-fed butter in it, that's giving your body some nice healthy fats, and the sweet potato is giving you a lot of good things like magnesium and all these good supplement, good nutrition, whatever. Eat a sweet potato if you can tolerate it. Otherwise, do some type of an organic broth. That will be good to give you a bunch of vitamins quickly. That will kind of curb that weird hunger you get from being glutened. Also, since a sweet potato or broth is more of like a liquidy substance, your body is already stressed out from the digestion process. That will basically make it a little bit easier on your body since it will be panicking for the next few days. Those are my 5 things. I will type them in a list in the description below if you want to just read it. Let me know in the comments what you do when you feel terrible after you have been glutened or after you've had whatever food allergy that you have. Let me know. I'm curious. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Share it with someone you know with food allergies. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions for me that I can answer sometime in the next few Saturdays. Bye!